This week, we have some people news, a line expansion for AJ Fernandez, and a new Fuente release. So stay tuned. This is a Security Weekly production. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Stogie Geeks News. This is September 30th, 2016. I'm your host, Paul Asadorian, broadcasting live from G-Unit Studios in Rhode Island. On the lines via Skype from North Carolina, Mr. Will Cooper. How's it going, Will?
Hey, Paul.
How are the riots? Are they subsided?
Things have subsided. For folks who don't know, actually, my day job's office was in the riot zone. I did go into the office a couple of days this week, and things seem to be greatly calmed down.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
That was a big news item in the regular news. What's going on with cigar news this week, Will?
We have some various people news items. And they're they're all kind of interesting in their own way. The first one is a gentleman by the name of Clint Aaron, and Clint's known as the owner of 262 Cigars. And an announcement came out this week that Clint was going to become the principal owner of a place called City Place Cigar in Lynchburg, Virginia. And City Place Cigar is probably one of the big retail outlets I don't say big retail. They're one of the best known retail outlets in Virginia. It's an interesting move, but it's not an unheard of move, because normally you hear of people going from the retail end to the manufacturing end. Now this one, Clint isn't abandoning 262 Cigars, but it's pretty clear his focus is going to be on the retail operation going forward right now. So I found that kind of an interesting twist.
That could be an interesting trend as to if you are a small cigar manufacturer, is getting into the retail side of it to kind of diversify your portfolio, because who knows what's going to happen with FDA.
Yeah,
I mean, we like to be optimistic, but I mean, let's face facts. If that's how you feed your family.
That's how you feed your family.
Yeah.
George Rodriguez from Rodrigo Cigars, who's kind of a well-known boutique, kind of done the same thing. Again, he hasn't abandoned his brand, but clearly he's moved over to the online and brick and mortar operation there.
And our good friend Gabriel has made a move.
Yeah, this one kind of caught a lot of people by surprise. Gabriel Alvarez, who was the U.S. Director of Sales at Maya Silva Cigars, resigned yesterday. And Gabriel was really responsible for the last couple of years of introducing the Maya Silva brand into the U.S. market, which was an enormous challenge. That's a brand that did very well in Europe. It was an unknown, higher-priced brand for the U.S., but they had some great cigars. I think he did a tremendous job in the short amount of time he was there, and I think people do know of what the product is right now. Gabriel has told me he has plans to stay in the industry, but is not ready to disclose what they are. Okay. So we should hear something soon on that. But, of course, now he has him and his wife, Grace Sotolongo, have had a new baby daughter as well.
Congrats to both of you.
They're like the first family of cigar online media. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. Makes perfect sense, actually.
I mean, we knew the whole story of that.
Yeah, the whole thing.
It's good. It's all good.
They're adorable on Facebook.
They really are, and they're wonderful people. They really are.
Absolutely.
So we wish him the best. The third item is probably someone you haven't heard of, and a lot of people haven't heard of in the U.S., but in Europe, this man was extremely well known. A fellow by the name of Nick Wing. And Nick Wing was based in the UK, and he was basically best known to be the proprietor and editor of the UK Cigar Scene, which was an online publication, exactly how it sounded. He covered cigars in the UK, and he did it better than anybody else, this guy. He obviously is very well known in the Cuban market. He was a guy, I never met him, but he absolutely was a guy who bridged that gap, I think, from blog to online journalism. So I kind of looked up to him. He passed away this week, unfortunately. And he had been sick for a while, suffering from cancer. So I think it's a big loss for cigar media. And apparently a lot of people really, were aware, of his work. And I heard everything I heard was just positive about his work, too, from people.
Well, that's too bad.
Yep.
AJ Fernandez, last call line is expanding.
Yeah, so last call, it came out in a Habano blend this year, in a 4.5 by 48 Rothschild size called Genialis. Right before the trade show, they announced a Maduro counterpart with a Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper, also in that Genialis size.
Is this cigar pretty polarizing, Will?
Yes.
Okay, because I was I wasn't a big fan. To be honest with you.
But again, it was also a $5 cigar.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I agree. It's compared to some of the stuff AJ's done in the last couple of years, I would agree.
I thought the story behind it was awesome. I thought the size was great. It just didn't fit my flavor profile. But other people that I gave it to were like, you loved it. They were like, this is awesome. This is only $5. This is great. So, I mean, it just goes to show you that, people have different tastes.
Now, it aged. I'll say it aged that Habano. I haven't smoked the Maduro. The Habano aged out better.
Okay. I'll go back and try it. I may have some more kicking around.
Yeah, I would say it probably got up into that $5 range once the Habano. So I would give it a try. But there's also going to be 4 new sizes now in each of the lines. So maybe the Genialis isn't the size, as we talk about a lot.
Yep.
There's a Pequeñas, which is a 5 by 46, a Chiquitas, which is a 3.5 by 50, a Corticas, which is a 4 by 52, and a Flaquitas, which is a classic 6 by 46 Corona Gorda. And that's going to be available in both the Habano and the Maduro lines.
Looks interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The Casa Cuba. This is an interesting line from Arturo Fuente. Now, Will, I've heard some people refer to it as the Casa Fuente blend. Is there truth to that at all?
I don't think it's anything with the Casa Fuente blend. I think it's more or less people. It's Casa Cuba is a brand under Fuente, so they call it Casa. Something that's just maybe called Casa Fuente. I don't think it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've tasted it. It doesn't taste anything like those.
It doesn't.
And this is one from what I understand, Carlito and the late Carlos Sr. This is a brand that was a project that they worked on for a while. But that I don't know if there's any connection with Casa Fuente. I can't say that.
And it seems to be a somewhat limited release that comes out with like some of the other limited stuff from Fuente.
Yeah, so it's classic Fuente kind of show up at your retailer kind of thing. So they actually showed this at the trade show. And it was basically it's called the Casa Cuba Divine Inspiration. It's a different Casa Cuba blend. It's right now, from what I understand, there's going to be several sizes, but I think they've just released the Short Churchill, which is a 6 1/8 by 47. And from the story that was being told about this blend, and this was before Carlos Fuente Sr. passed away, was that apparently Carlos Fuente Sr. had a dream about the Casa Cuba blend. I mean, and I guess he dreams about cigar blends. Who doesn't, right? But I have had a dream about cigar blends. But I guess something came to him. He woke up, and he wasn't, he was at the time, his health wasn't in good shape, so he couldn't get on a plane and go to the DR. So he literally called the factory and told them, he dictated over the phone what this blend should be. And supposedly this is the last blend that he worked on, and this became the Divine Inspiration right now.
And it's so let me get this right. The original Arturo Fuente Casa Cuba blend was Ecuadorian Havana in Dominican binder and filler.
Yep. We don't know what's different in this blend.
Okay.
They haven't disclosed it yet, but we've been told it's different.
Does the wrapper look different?
It did. It seemed like it was a little darker on this one.
It did seem darker. Okay. Yeah. No, it did seem darker. So maybe it was the wrapper that changed. And of course, I mean, they're just listing the filler and binder as Dominican. So.
Right. But chances are that's coming from the Fuente farms as well, and they have a wide variety of tobacco. It's coming in 30 count boxes. It's actually reasonably priced at $10. Now, Casa Cuba is you want to talk about a polarizing cigar. I found this to be a very polarizing cigar.
Yeah.
Because it's the original Casa Cuba is not your father's Fuente. It's a very different cigar.
Yeah, you look for it to be like either something more like a Hemingway or something more like an Opus X or something more like the other Fuente blends, and it's just not.
It's not.
Añejo, because it comes out with like all the special releases. And so you're looking for it to be in some kind of a family, and you're like, well, maybe it's closer to the Hemingway, but it's like it stands on its own, unique out of anything in the portfolio from Fuente. I agree.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, you either like it or you don't. And now it took me a little while to warm up to this. But I do like it. There's a very interesting sweet spice on this cigar, on the original Casa Cuba. Now, I don't know what this one is like yet, although I do have these coming my way.
I picked up a couple. I haven't smoked them yet.
So yeah, stay tuned for Stogie Geeks. I'm sure we'll be covering these in the next few weeks.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Maybe as soon as next week.
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
I've had kind of a cold and allergy, so I haven't been reviewing as much stuff as I would have liked to, Will. But we are doing a show this coming Monday.
Yes, we will. Yeah, it seems like this time of the year, we go into this cold cycle. Like either me or either you. It's at least we don't get them at the same time.
It's that it's that change of season thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's terrible.
I think it really is. Yeah, we're starting to hit it down here as well.
All righty. Well, make sure you tune in to the Stogie Geeks main show every Monday evening, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, StogieGeeks.com/live. And check out cigar-coop.com for all the latest cigar news and reviews. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening.